and not a day goes by that I don't think about her or wonder what she would be doing if this had not happened. Every day, still, I wake up to think that she's alive and get a stab in the heart when I know that I can't call her and talk to her. While this pain has subsided a little, just the other day I had the urge to call her to tell her something exciting. Again, it's like a knife in the heart every time. I've been in counseling, and although it helps, most nights I can't quit thinking about her getting hit, or how she felt, or how her dog felt, and knowing that she laid on the side of the road without anyone checking on her was very hard to hear. I'm very thankful for the trooper that was there that helped to take care of my sister and her dog. I am thankful for my pastor and my church, my family, and my faith. They have been a tremendous support through this process. I miss her so much. Not only was she my little sister, but she was my running partner and best friend. And she was a second mom to my son, her nephew Jordan. Evie was planning that very month to spend the Christmas holiday with us in Arizona as she had in previous years. And after her death, we found the stocking stuffers that she had said she would buy for us. And let me tell you, I didn't really want to celebrate Christmas that year, but I did for my son. Christmas was not the same without her lighthearted spirit and smile. She should still be here. Before her passing, Evie and I had some plans to spend some time up in Sedona, which is a rejuvenating place, and I just couldn't go after her passing. I miss her giggly personality. I miss her big smile. I miss our daily morning talks about life and the advice she often gave me. I miss running with her. We were supposed to do the Bayshore Half Marathon in May, and we had a big group signed up to run. Our group decided to continue with the marathon and to do it in her honor. We had shirts made up, and I can't tell you how many people in the community stopped us, and each one told us a story about how my sister affected her. 2 news stories were done on her and her impact to the community. But I think the thing that hurts the most is now that my son will not get to know her aunt. He loved her just like a second mother. He was supposed to spend 2 weeks this summer with Evie here in Michigan, and he was really looking forward to spending the time with her and her dog, as he loves animals as much as my sister did. One of the things that's been the hardest is running. My sister and I have been running for over 20, probably 30 years now, and it's just strange to not have my buddy beside me. Even though we lived in 2 different states, on Saturdays we would call each other during our long runs, and she would talk me through some hard miles and I would talk her through some hard miles. One of my favorite things to do on a run was karaoke. I always wear headphones and Evie never did, and I would sing loudly whatever song was playing when we were running, and she would look at me like, I have no idea what you're singing, but we would guess and we would laugh, and it made the mileage go. I know her running buddies in Michigan miss her as well. I know one of their favorite things was to run around the roads out here, and they would pick up random items, and Evie would hold them proudly, and they would take pictures of them along the side of the roads. People wanted to be around Evie so much that they would walk or run even if they didn't particularly enjoy it. We had a lot of people telling us during the 10K that they didn't really want to do it, but because Evie asked them to, they did. She always wore headlights and blinking lights around her torso and reflective wear. People told me stories of her buying them lights when she wanted them to be safe. She was even lit up like a Christmas tree when she was killed. I would ask that everyone advocate for people to wear lights and for their pets to wear lights, because even though it didn't save her life, it could save someone else's life. I know many people miss Evie, and this hobby was the joy of her life. We had run many races together, and we had many more planned. I have not really been able to run much since she died because there's an emptiness there. I also miss working out with her. I had recently got her into lifting, and I'll never forget the first time I took her to the gym. She laid on the bench and put the bar on her chest, and she said, "What am I supposed to do with this now?" And she just started giggling hysterically, and I said, "You're supposed to lift it up." And I was proud because she had started doing CrossFit, and I actually went to the gym where she worked out here, and they also told me amazing stories about my sister. I think they've described it perfectly, but how do you describe a ray of sunshine that literally loved everyone and everything? I never heard her say a bad word about one person. I don't know how many of us could say that. And Miss Landry is right. She's a light. She was a one-of-a-kind human, sister, daughter, aunt, cousin, mentor, athlete, and friend. She lived her whole life through her heart. And as they already mentioned, she came back from Mexico one time with bare feet because she gave them everything that she had. Have you ever heard of someone standing on a bridge or overpass dressed up in a Mr. Poop costume or a blow-up pig? That was my sister during COVID. She was down, and she went and stood on overpasses and waved at people just to make them laugh. That was Evie. As my sister said, she was the peacemaker between Annette and I. She hated it when we fought, and she would actually physically get in between us and just giggle, which would obviously make us stop. She would follow me around when I was little. I remember her getting up on water skis. My dad hadn't even started the boat, and she'd already be up out of the water. I miss mostly talking about our dreams and faith and everything. I know people around here, and all of us miss her ability to massage. She found that career later in life, but it really was her passion. She would give people massages all the time. In fact, she was really struggling financially, and I had talked to her about, you have to start charging people. You can't just keep doing things for free. And she started crying, and she said, I can't. I want to do this. This is my passion, and I want to help people. It's a dichotomy in my mind, and I have to tell you, Miss Landry, I really appreciate what you said today, because all we've really wanted to know is how you really feel about what happened that night. So thank you for giving us that peace of mind to know how you feel. It really is a dichotomy, because as a Christian, I know that I need to forgive you, and I will one day, but I can't forget what you took from us. And I know that if Evie was here, she doesn't have a malicious bone in her body, and she would live through Christ, and she would also forgive you. I implore you to get any help that you need. I implore you to hold on to your family and strengthen your faith through this process. One of the things that hit me as I watched a couple of the hearings was that you were holding your sister's hand. Hold on to your sister, because that's what we want to do. We want to still be able to hold our sister's hand. Hold on to your family and your faith, and just please do whatever you can to shine Evie's light to the world when you get done with whatever the sentencing is. Please be an advocate for not drinking and driving. Please be an advocate for wearing lights and being seen as you're walking and running. And please live your life like my sister would, and spread light and joy and love. And that's